Yo, what's up? I'm Snowman. Glad to have you guys here. Today I'm going to spoil you a movie named Sleep Tight. If you're ready, let's get started. In a future world that doesn't even know the date, time, and place, it all started with a man named Caesar. Every day, he always wakes up at 5 a.m. for prepare to come work at the lobby because he is a staff member of this luxury hotel. There is a girl. Her name is Kara. She is one of the people who live in the hotel where Caesar works, which Caesar fell in love with Kara for a long time, but he knows that Kara already has a boyfriend, so he always writes love letters to Kara, without knowing who sent it, because she never paid attention to those letters. And every letter sent she always reads and shreds, as Caesar is in charge of this hotel. Of course, he had a spare key for every room in the hotel, allowing him to easily get in and out of every nook and cranny of the hotel. And after he learned his own dark secret, he was always opening into Kara's bedroom, and hides himself under the bed before she came back. And when she returned to her room, she fell asleep. Caesar will come out from under the bed, and anesthetize her as she sleeps. After that, he secretly had sex with her without her even realizing it, and set his own alarm clock for 5 a.m. for wake up to serve as hotel staff. This morning Kara woke up at 7:45 as usual, but it wasn't so bright for her morning, because during this period, she often has symptoms of weakness, and always have a headache when waking up. And when she came from the room she always greeted Caesar before going to work, without knowing that he was the one who made her like this. Until a girl came to greet Caesar, she asks for the $60, the gag that Caesar snuck into Kara's room, because the girl's room is opposite Kara's room, and she secretly saw Caesar walked out of that room at 5 a.m. every day. Caesar agrees to pay the girl to keep her mouth shut, to keep this a secret, and that's why he's always late for work, always being blamed by the hotel owner, and threatened that if you continue like this I will fire you. But Caesar don't care, because now is the time he's been waiting for. He does what he usually does on a regular basis, that is, hiding under Kara's bed in anticipation of her return. And when you come back she have to meet with love letters deposited like every day. She ripped it off without any fibers, and go to sleep. After that, Caesar arranged according to the plan, starting with anesthesia, followed by having sex with her. But today is more special than every day because he injected some substance into Kara's makeup to make her irritate, which the reason why he did it no one knows. Caesar's clock woke him up again at 5 a.m. After finishing his errands, he smoothly left Kara's room, and that leads him to meet the girl again. Which she asked Caesar, did you do it again? I guess $60 can't keep my mouth shut. I want more, I want to see porn clips, can you find it? Caesar had no choice, hurriedly accepted. This morning, Kara woke up with the same symptoms, headache and lack of energy. But she forced herself to smile at Caesar before leaving for work. But Caesar was not happy with what he saw. And at that moment, the girl came to claim the promised item, and asked to increase the silence from $60 to $100. When the time Caesar has been waiting for, he did everything as usual. And the strange thing is that he brought some gel to smear things all over Kara's room. No one knows why he did it. The next morning, Kara woke up in surprise. When her face and neck covered with a mysterious rash, she forced herself to go to work as usual. And don't forget to say hello to Caesar before going to work with a smile that Caesar never wanted. The days have passed, Kara's face continued to deteriorate, which don't know why Caesar liked it when she saw her like this. Until one day, Kara's face began to improve after she changed a new bottle of cream. But it was even more shocking when she found that her room was filled with swarms of cockroaches, that Caesar used to smear its eggs at various points in her room. So Kara urgently seeks help from Caesar to help get rid of the cockroaches. Caesar secretly smiled when he saw Kara's expression, and promised to arrange. So Kara said she's going to sleep over at her mother's house, which was not like Caesar had imagined, because he wanted Kara to suffer. After he managed to repel the cockroaches for Kara, he called to tell her could go back to her room. Kara promised to return. Today, Caesar has changed the plan. When him can't make Kara suffer, he will kill her. Before Kara comes back, Caesar also put some equipment in a large bag to kill Kara. Then he hid under her bed as always. But everything didn't go according to plan. Because Kara is back with her boyfriend, they hasn't seen each other for 6 weeks. And of course they both had sex. Caesar, hidden under the bed, felt the tremors from their sex, until it caused the anesthetic in his hand to spill onto his own face. Caesar knows that soon he will fall asleep, so he hurriedly took out the key to Kara's room that was in his pocket, and crawled out from under the bed smoothly without knowing that Kara and her boyfriend. The effect of anesthesia became more and more intense, until Caesar could barely control himself, and walking to the door, he found that he had picked up the wrong room key, until finally he could not stand it, then fall asleep. Caesar woke up the next morning in the bathtub in Kara's room, and it's the same time that Kara came to take a shower. But sooner or later her could open the curtain that was covering Caesar's body. Her boyfriend called out to look at the strange luggage under the bed. It's Caesar's bag, in which the bag contained many strange equipment that he had prepared to kill Kara. But instead they see it as just a general mechanic equipment, and there is also a diary that records the stories of Caesar. But before they could read it, Kara told her boyfriend that probably the innkeeper forgot when he came in to get rid of cockroaches. Then Kara invites her boyfriend to have sex in the morning. Meanwhile, Caesar wants to get out of the room before they can see, but he had to get the keys in the bag first. He slowly sneaked away in various corners of the room realistically, until the key was successfully retrieved, but Kara's boyfriend saw Caesar about to leave the room. Caesar then excused himself that he had forgotten a bag of equipment in this room. But Kara's boyfriend are not satisfied that employees enter without permission. Caesar quickly apologized, in order not to get caught. Kara went to pick up the bag, give Caesar with understanding, while her boyfriend felt Caesar's abnormality, but didn't do anything. Caesar hurried to fix himself, then come to work normally, but he came to work late. The innkeeper fired him and let Caesar live here for only 15 more days. After a while, Kara and her boyfriend came with a big bag. She greeted Caesar with a smile as always and told him that today we going to the doctor to treat her dizzy, after that we will go on vacation for several days. At this moment, all of Caesar's plans were about to fail, which the movie has answered that Caesar is a mental illness that has caused a lifetime of his past. I never knew happiness, since every day there is no goal and the only way he thought he could make himself happy was make the person he loves suffering like him. But now it doesn't matter anymore. Everything that has been done will end here, because he can't really be happy. He walked up to the roof, climbed on the balcony, determined to leave this world peacefully, until he glances at Kara with her boyfriend in front of the hotel. He immediately changed his mind, and changed a new plan. He hid under Kara's bed, until Kara and her boyfriend come in. They quarreled violently. Because of the results the physical examination of Kara, it turned out that she was more than 4 weeks pregnant, which she was not happy at all because before, Kara often told her boyfriend regularly that when having sex, wear a condom, she is not ready to have children. As for her boyfriend, they defended themselves that he always wears a condom. How can it be like this? And besides, they haven't seen each other for 6 weeks, how can she be 4 weeks pregnant? After, they went to bed and slept soundly. Caesar came out from under the bed to do what he was best at. He puts anesthesia on Kara and her boyfriend, and having sex with her as always, without any respect for Kara's boyfriend who sleeps next to her at all. In the afternoon of the next day, Caesar was in the room all day, because he was fired from being a hotel employee. But suddenly there was a knock on the door, which is not anyone but Kara's boyfriend. He begged Caesar to smoke in the room again because the cockroaches weren't dead yet. Caesar vowed to deal with it. Upon arriving at the Kara room, Caesar did not find any cockroaches at all, and when he walked to Kara's bed, he found that the bed had been completely torn out, and his anesthetic device was placed on the mattress. Caesar asked Kara's boyfriend what this was all about. Kara's boyfriend immediately retorted, "You still haven't stopped lying. The evidence is so clear. How long have you been doing this?" Caesar admits that he has been secretly having sex with Kara every day for 4 weeks. Kara's boyfriend was so angry that he pressed Caesar to the bed, hoping to suffocate him. But Caesar refused. He picked up the falling glass shard and stabbed Kara's boyfriend in the neck until he died. Caesar hurriedly dragged his body into the bathtub, and arranged it to look like Kara's boyfriend commits suicide. Then destroy all the evidence about himself and leave Kara's room. He returned to his room, and arranged the things in order to escape from this hotel as quickly as possible. But it was too late because the police came and knocking on the door of his room, and called to the scene interrogate, but Caesar couldn't provide much information. The police then released him. When he returned to his room, he found notepaper pasted in front of the room. There's a message saying "I see you." Caesar immediately knew that it was the handiwork of that young girl. If the young girl accidentally told the police about anything, he probably wouldn't have survived. In the middle of the night, while the girl was going to bed, she heard a knock on the door. But when she looked out, she couldn't find anyone, because the knocker had already stood behind her. The girl hurried to seek help from her parents, but it turned out to be called how much they wouldn't wake up. Caesar said, "Don't worry that they just fell asleep. Now let's get into our story." He dragged the girl to the window and tell her some truth that he is the one who killed Kara's boyfriend. So he threatened the young girl, until the girl felt scared and did not dare to tell anyone about what had happened. The next morning, the police returned Caesar again, to ask about the case of Kara's boyfriend, because the police did not believe that it was just a suicide, because everything seemed unreasonable, because in Kara's room there were all Caesar's fingerprints. Caesar told the police that several days ago, he had been to Kara's room to expel cockroaches, so it was not uncommon for him to have fingerprints, which the police themselves agree then let Caesar go. So Caesar hurriedly packed up his belongings to leave this hotel, until Kara and her mother walked down with belongings to move to another place. Caesar say hello, but Kara kept on crying. Until several months have passed, Kara has already given birth to a child, and lived a simple life by the sea happily. Then one day she received a letter from a mysterious person. In it was a message paper, along with Caesar's diary, with essence that tells about his own actions that have been done to her. And he also said that, "Kara, you are really important to me. Just every time I think you're reading this letter, it's powerful enough to keep me alive. Leave your condolences to my child too. I hope every time you look at our children, you will see my face and I will be in your memory forever. And it's because of you that I've known happiness." When Kara finished reading the letter, she hugged her child and cried over the bad memories, which cannot be erased and will be with her for the rest of her life. The movie ended. And this movie, it received a 7.2 rating from IMDb critics. If you like video, please subscribe. Thank you so much.